always into music at a young age. My mother was a singer. We always played music in our house, so music was always something that spoke to me a lot. I always wanted to be in a touring band ever since I was in high school. I worked really hard at it, played in a bunch of bands, got shows in my school. I went through a really bad depression in my early 20s after high school. I dealt with a very big emotional breakup and involved family members, and I kind of just started this sort of downward spiral. I gave up on music, and I thought that dream was dead. It was actually music that kind of turned everything around for me and saved me. I had a friend reach out to me and tell me that the only thing that I'm good at ever is playing music and being with kids. I really took to that. I took the last bit of money that I had after losing my job and a bunch of other stuff. I took the last bit of money that I had, and I bought a van, and I tried out for a band, kind of based on the fact of like, hey, I want to tour and I have a van, so you should use me. It was cool because right after I joined that band, we started playing, shows everywhere, playing on weekends, playing festivals, driving up to Canada, playing shows, driving down to Florida and playing shows. It became this power in my life where I felt, all the dirt kind of coming off of me and starting to feel unburied, and the fact that, it's okay with the past that I've had. I can put it all into my music. And for a while, I was kind of nervous to kind of do that, write songs about myself and talk about my own problems. And it took me a long time to actually get to that point where I wanted to share those stories with people. In joining Vanna kind of gave me the confidence boost to start sharing myself. In the band, we became brothers, so I feel like I could share anything with them. And we started writing music that really was about truly the problems myself and these guys have gone through. And though I was nervous of judgment, and I was really afraid that people were just kind of laugh at me for the things I went through, because band guys are supposed to be cool, what started happening was kids started coming out and feeling it so hard. More kids started coming to shows. More kids would write us messages and letters and tell us, thank you so much for talking about divorce. Thank you so much for talking about suicide. Thank you so much for talking about depression. These things that we all really go through, but a lot of times are awkward to talk about. And for us and for me, I have a microphone and I can kind of get my confidence from my band to talk about these kind of things. I've met some kids that, never knew that divorce was a giant problem, and they thought they were all alone in that problem. And through a couple songs on records, they really took to that, and they stopped blaming themselves for their parents' divorce and the problems in their lives, and have kind of dug out of this hole that they were in. And it's the same hole I was in, Other kids have said that, the lyrics have helped them battle their addictions or their various demons from different places in their lives. And I started noticing this cool thing happening where all my stories that I went through, everybody that at shows, they went through that kind of stuff. You have to think, kids at shows only make up a small percentage of the people of the world, and that we all deal with the same kind of problems. And I met a guy who's a professional speaker, his name is Mike Smith, and shared my story with him, and he thought, man, this story needs to be heard by more people. I appreciate what you do in the band, but maybe we can do more. And he started getting me going and speaking in high schools and middle schools and colleges all around the country. And once again, I'm nervous to speak, and now it's a larger format. There's more people involved in it. It's really just an idea. I guess it's kind of become a brand. It's called Find Your Shovel, which is just, your shovel is the thing that you love the most in the world. Mine's music. It's the thing that dug me out of my problems. It's the thing that is always there for me. Your shovel could be art, it could be academics, it could be athletics, it could be really anything. But the whole thing about a shovel is that once you've dug yourself out and you're standing on solid ground, you still have that shovel in your hand, you can look around and see other people that were buried and say, can I dig them out with this shovel? Can the thing that I love be also the thing that that person loves that might save their life? And that's sort of the message when I go around to schools and shows and just in my life in general, is that we could all take the things that we love that help dig us out of our holes and dig other people out of them. I kind of treated it like a concert. I got out there knowing that my band was fully supporting me, whether they were physically there or not. And now I couldn't think of anything else I'd rather be doing than being on stage with my band and being in high schools and speaking to kids and telling my story and sharing everything I've been through with them, because it's not me that's important. It's my story. It's a story. It's not you that's important. It's your story, because your story needs to be shared, because the more that we share all the problems that we've all gone through, the easier it is for all of us to heal together through those problems. And for me, it all started with music, I remember being a teenager at shows and feeling that energy of us all being together, and now being on that stage and feeling that energy from those kids and getting down there in the crowd with them and hearing them sing those words and being in a high school gymnasium and watching these kids' faces as I touch on subjects that they thought they were the only ones who have ever dealt with this subject. It makes the world a very small place, which is great because I think nowadays the world is so large. I think it's good to remember and get back to people again and get back to we all suffer in this world together. And I find a little bit of solace in knowing that like there's bad stuff that's going to happen all the time, every day. But at least we're all here together in it, and at least we can all get through it together. And I think that I got those values from growing up in the punk rock scene and in going to metal and hardcore and punk shows. I think those values instilled in me in a young age of being a teenager and going to those will carry with me through being an adult, and I'll pass down to my children. And I have music to thank for my career, and I have music to thank for my actual life.